What is a scary, unsettling fact about you? I killed someone in self-defense, went through the entire court process with his family sobbing hysterically, and never felt a single emotion about it, and I'm a pretty emotional guy. This is a weird one, but I promise you, no bullshit. I had a metal screw/bolt roughly 1.5 inches long stuck in my right lung from age 2 to 17. I must have put it in my mouth as a toddler and it got there somehow. Anyway, the unsettling bit is that I always knew there was something seriously wrong with my body, because my whole life I would have instances in which I coughed uncontrollably, many times coughing up blood. Sometimes a little, sometimes a lot. But I never told anyone. Dad was neglectful and Mom was always working, so it was relatively easy to hide. If it happened at school, I'd excuse myself to the restroom until it stopped. No one ever showed concern those 15 years, so I guess I kept it to myself well enough. I never told anyone, because even as a small child I was very unhappy with life and wanted it to be over. I guess I figured my mystery illness would get me eventually, so I kept it a secret so I wouldn't get treated. It all came to a head at 17 when playing ball at the park with my parents, siblings, and some friends. I got a decent hit and ran around the bases when I started coughing. After sitting back down I tried to hold it in, but I couldn't, and this time it was too bloody to hide and no bathroom to go to. So my step-uncle noticed after a minute or two, everyone is crowded around me while I'm coughing up a shitload of blood in and around a trash can. My little brother told me after that they actually sent guys in hazmat suits to clean it up because they didn't know if whatever was wrong with me was contagious. But anyway, got to the hospital, got the x-ray which showed the screw lit up like Christmas imposed over my rib cage. Doctor guy just went, "Well, there's your problem." I guess he was trying to lighten the mood since everyone was understandably freaking the fuck out. 2 weeks of surgery, 3 total, and it was out. I still have breathing issues, but the cough is gone now. I made the screw into a necklace which I wear sometimes because I find it oddly comforting to be reminded of my own mortality. I know that's weird, but it's just sort of how I am all things considered. I never told my family I knew there was something wrong with me, because telling them would mean admitting to them that I wanted to die the whole time. I still struggle with mental health crap for this and many other reasons I won't get into, but things are a lot easier than they used to be. But anyway, if you actually took the time to read about my weird little life, I appreciate your time and hope your day is pleasant. Not sure if it's scary? But my dad OD'd on heroin and died. I probably could have saved him. I went downstairs at like 1 a.m. to get a drink and saw the bathroom door closed with the light on. I thought about pounding on the door to scare him, which is something I would do to mess with him. I walked up to the door, went to knock on it, but thought to myself, nah, don't mess with him. And I walked away. Woke up later finding out he was dead from an OD. Sometimes I think I have memories of being sexually molested or exploited as a young child. But I can't ever be sure if the memories are real, and I wouldn't dare ask anyone. Edit, I am shocked and horrified at how many others have similar experiences/suspicions. But the amount of people that feel comfort in knowing they aren't alone has made sharing this post worth it. Wishing you all clarity, peace, and healing. I have unusually good night vision, extra cones/rods, I forget which is for low light, which means I walk around in what other people consider complete darkness, able to see just fine. Add on to that I'm 6 feet 10 inches and very large, basically a cryptid. A third of my body is covered in burn scars. When I was 15, I was in a forest area near my school with several friends. We would go here often after school to talk and hang out before going home for supper. It was also common for us on colder days to start a small fire to keep warm. Netherlands is a very wet country, so there is rarely a fear of a fire getting out of hand. However, the boys are another story. Boys always act dumb around fire. One time when we were in the woods, a boy who had been playing with the fire had lit a stick and was walking around with it like a torch. Somehow the stick or ember fell onto my school bag, hung over one shoulder, and caught fire. This also caught my jacket and hair and skirt on fire, as well as the backpack began to melt from the fire and drip onto my cloths. Everyone panicked and by instinct I ran back to the school. Running only made the fire worse. I was seen by an adult, a teacher I think, and I was put on the ground and the fire was put out. But much damage had been done already. I was taken towards the hospital and the school called my parents. I was burned from the top of my head down onto the top of my leg just above my knee. Much of my hair on one side of my head was burned away, but because hair burns quickly there was little damage to my face, more like a bad sunburn, except for on my neck and along my jawbone where my jacket and backpack burned. My legs were mostly okay too, as the skirt I was wearing was wool and did not burn easily and was away from my legs. My right arm and body were not as well off. Where the jacket was and where the backpack was had burned the most and had melted like hot plastic because they were synthetic material. I was in hospital for many weeks and had many surgeries over the span of my life to help the skin grow and to graft skin from my legs onto parts of my chest and underarm that were the most damaged. If I wear jeans and a long sleeve shirt, you cannot tell that I have any scars other than the line of scars that go up my neck on one side. Many times I can hide those scars with makeup. Growing up, I had a recurring nightmare set in my grandparents' backyard looking at the back of their house. There was just something off about the house. Something mildly sinister. I dreamt this over and over, many times over the years. In 2018, my dad, who now owned the house, went into the backyard to that spot and killed himself. I haven't had the backyard dream since. I pooped in my neighbor's backyard when I was 8 years old. Just gargoyle under his jungle gym and let loose. This is the first I've talked about it in over 20 years. I've ripped a man's ear off with my teeth. I had 6 toes on each foot at birth and got them cut off. You can see the place they cut them at. From ages 6 to 14, I spent all of my time in a pitch black, cold, and locked basement, only leaving for school and never letting anyone, outside the family, know. I constantly think about leaving my current life behind and just living alone somewhere remote where no one knows I exist. Odd thing is, I have a really good happy life and I'd never do it, but I think about it constantly. I was the one who pushed over the Faygo vending machine at the IGA in 2006. I'm an alcoholic, gotten so bad to the point I was in jail and I was admitted into a psych ward once. My drinking life was wild and destructive. Decided I've had enough. After 2 failed attempts, I'm currently 36 days sober, the most sober I've been in years. I do not actually remember a decent chunk of my life. Whenever I talk about most of my childhood, I use words that leave room for mistakes and am generally using memories and ideas I've compiled from hearing other people say things about me. There is actually a large chunks of facts about myself that I only think I know, and don't have personal confirmation of. That's all for today, folks. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and if you're new here, please turn on the notification bell as we will be posting new vids every day.